The following podcast may be explicit. 1-You Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Come on into the shed and have a seat with Mickie, JJ, Kurt, Chris, and Joe as we officially kick off our newest Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. We're using the Pathfinder Adventure Path, Curse of the Crimson Throne for this one. Enjoy the podcast. Hi, and welcome to The Shed for Adventures from the Shed. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com, on iTunes and Facebook. Just look us up on the internet and you will find us. We are here in the shed to kick off a new adventure today, which I will let you know more about once we go around the table and say hi, starting with...
Hi, everyone. This is Mickie.
Hello, everybody. This is Mickey's better half,
You
JJ.
wish.
Hey, everybody, it's Chris.
Hey, this is Mickey's secret lover, Kurt.
Secret lover.
Also, JJ's secret
Not
lover.
anymore.
Not so much secret. Oh, wow.
Age.
And I am Joe. I will be the Dungeon Master as we're kicking off a new Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. We are actually going to use the Pathfinder Adventure Path of Curse of the Crimson Throne for this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. And in addition to that, we are using something else that we had from our last session together, the characters we made for each other. We will be meeting these characters shortly, but somebody, I think Kurt, has volunteered. No, JJ had volunteered to read us a paragraph about the Corvosa, which is the city that we are starting in.
Corvosa has long stood as the first bastion of civilization on the wild frontier of Varecia. Yet tragedy seems to haunt the city's royal bloodline. Few of her rulers rule for long, and none have lived to the ripe old age, dying instead well before their time. Heirs to the throne are few and far between. In its 300-year history, no king of Corvosa has directly inherited the Crimson Throne from his father. This is the source of much gossip and tale-spinning among the city's citizens, who speak in hushed tones of what they have come to call the curse of the Crimson Throne.
Dun, dun, dun.
Da-da!
All right. The adventure starts up with our characters, who we'll meet in a moment. They're going to be waking up from a dream in which they were a princess and a thief and a bard and a crazy arm wrestling barbarian, and they had met up and gone and beat up some orcs and returned some booty back to the city that they were living in. I said booty. And when they wake up from this dream, they find next to them in their rooms a note. Who wants to be the first one that goes to respond to the note? Because you're going to be the one to read it. All right. Kurt, it's an audio podcast, buddy.
All right, so
Just nodding and raising your hands.
so Crispin,
You want fries with that?
who is do I want fries with that?
It's a joke. Wait, do you nod when you're at the drive-thru, or do you?
Oh, I gotcha.
I get you.
Crispin, who listeners may recall, is a short little halfling barbarian who thinks he's 7 feet tall. Wakes up, notices his tattoos all over his arms, feels a little achy, maybe from fighting all those orcs in his sleep, and rolls over to light the candle on his little bedside table and sees a note on a kind of old parchment lying there next to the unlit candle, and he strikes his match, lights the candle, and it says, "I know what Gadrin has done to you. He has wronged me as well. I know where he dwells, yet cannot strike at him. Come to my house at Lancet Street at sunset. Others like you will be there. Gadrin must face his fate, and justice must be done."
Indeed. So, Crispin's going to be the first one to go there.
Okay.
Okay. And I will read you the information about that home. So, you reach, and this is sent to you from. Hold on a second. Say a little more about your character, Kurt.
Sure. So just as a refresher, I'm playing Crispin, who is a Lightfoot halfling barbarian. It's the first time I have played a barbarian. He loves arm wrestling. He loves fighting, but has remorse immediately after going into a rage and killing anything. And I'm thinking here, just we're kind of converting over on the rules to D&D, so I'm looking at what some of his skills are and things. But it sounds like you're all set. So.
Yeah. So on the back of that note is the address.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's at Lancet Street. So.
Yes. Well, there's the address, and it is for Zalara, who is a fortune teller in the city. And when you arrive, you go in, the doors open, and the interior of this humble home consists of a single cozy chamber filled with a fragrant haze of flowers and strong spice. The aroma comes from several sticks of incense smoldering in wall-mounted burners that look like butterfly-winged elves. The smoke gives the room a dreamy feel. The walls are draped with brocaded tapestries, one showing a black-skulled beast juggling human hearts, and another showing a pair of angels dancing atop a snow-blasted mountain. A third tapestry on the far wall depicts a tall, hooded figure shrouded in mist, holding a flaming sword in a skeletal hand. Several brightly colored rugs cover the floor, but the room's only furnishings are a wooden table covered by a bright red throw cloth and several elegant, tall-backed chairs. A basket covered by blue cloth sits under the table. And on the table, you see this note, the bottom one. I'll just hand it to you because it's in the book.
Thank you for coming. I had to step out for a bit, but shall return shortly. Please have a seat while you wait. The basket under the table contains bread and drink for you.
So under the table is indeed bread and some wine. And others will be showing up shortly. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay, so how does Greg wake up to find this note?
I wake up from a dream, and since we had the dream about orcs and rescuing wine, I'm write down, spill the wine, dig that girl. Okay. Try to remember that for next time. All right, I guess I check out this. How did the note arrive? I woke up.
There.
I kind of look under my bed and around the room.
Nobody that you didn't expect.
The window's left open.
No. Just a note.
I smell the note.
It smells faintly of incense. Yes.
A little tongue. Taste it with a little bit.
Tastes like burnt stuff.
Okay.
Like, well, incense.
Was it Lancet
Never
Street? Is that what it
tasted
is?
incense.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Never tasted incest either.
I'll hurry up and get dressed.
That's what I almost said.
I'll hurry up and get dressed and make my way to, is it Lancet Street? Is that what it was?
Yep. So when you arrive, you walk in and you see Crispin. What does Crispin look like for when Greg shows up? And what does Greg look like for Crispin? Go ahead, Kurt, you first.
Yep, so Crispin is, compared to humans and elves, is short, being a halfling. He's got intricate tattoos kind of from the neck down over what you can see of his chest and arms. He wears kind of a simple leather vest and kind of breeches or half pants that come just below the knee. And has a axe kind of leaned up against the seat next to him that he probably always carries with him.
Okay. And what does Greg look like?
I'm a tall, lanky fellow with a fancy hat with a feather in it. Looks like I have clothes that I want to be fancy, but I can barely afford them, so I probably spend way too much money on clothes, and I really shouldn't. That's why I'm probably thin, because I'm not really eating that anytime, spending all my money on fancy clothes. And I have a small violin, but I don't really have a bow. I have a short bow that I use to strike it.
Did you walk in playing?
No, well, I'll just pluck it every once in a while.
There we go. Okay, so who's going to arrive next? I just want to do the introductions quick, or the views quick, and then I want you guys to talk about why you think you're here. Once
So
everyone
Ashley will
arrives.
wake up next. He wakes up and he notices that his bed is empty. The woman that he had managed to bed with last night and provide him lodging is gone. Must have been gone about her day. And he sees this note and reads it, and he's very curious as to how it arrived. He thinks it's from the woman, but doesn't know for certain. So he is going to assume that this is just another...
It does have Zalara's name and address on it.
Okay,
Unless
fair
you
enough.
slept with a fortune teller last night.
I did not.
Okay.
But he doesn't know this is some kind of game.
Oh,
or-
it could very well be a game.
Yeah, so he's like, ooh, the game is afoot. And we'll proceed to the house that is described in the note.
So we know what the other two look like. What does What does Ashley look like to the others as he walks into the fortune teller's home?
Ashley looks he looks very well kept. However, you don't seem to see like any kind of place for him to store his valuables. It looks like either he has been either gifted everything he owns or has stolen everything he owns. He doesn't seem to have any. He sees the basket of bread and immediately starts
wine.
devouring them.
So the wine, by the way, is not fine wine, but it's good.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
But he's fairly.
He likes his wine like his women. Good enough.
Good enough. If they provide a warm bed, that's all that matters, right? But yeah, he's blonde hair, green eyes, kind of tall and lanky. Like I said, his armor is. It's not. It looks like it was at one time it was well polished, but it's slowly falling in disrepair simply because whenever armor breaks for him, he just either finds or steals another set.
So is it like patchwork leather?
No, it looked like it was once fine leather,
Okay.
and now it's slowly falling into disrepair. Like he's
He
kind of
hasn't cared
looking
for
at
it.
it, going like, yeah, he doesn't care for it exactly. He lets it kind of, and then just buys or gets another piece, another set.
Appropriates another set.
Okay. Was it Tana?
Veritana.
Right, but I think you were starting to go
Tana
by
for
Tana.
short.
Yeah.
Only
okay.
my friends call me Tana. Everyone
Okay,
else
I'll call
me
you Veritana. Sorry.
So Veritana is startled awake, and she kind of, what the hell? Princess? What's wrong with me?
What is wrong with me? I'm no princess.
Like, startled awake,
Yeah.
the bed is all in disrepair, like, kicks the covers off, going, what the hell? Orcs? I shouldn't eat late at night.
That's it.
That's it. So she finds the note and immediately it's on high alert, like looking around the room, trying to figure out how someone got into her bedroom to leave this note, but is curious enough to actually go to the meeting place at 3 Lancet Street.
Okay.
Walking in,
What do the others see when she
Veritana is
arrives?
very sensible. Like, if you had to describe a word that comes to mind when seeing her is sensible. Her clothing is
Shoulder pads, pantsuit.
sturdy,
Sturdy.
well worn. Like,
as a wizard, what clothing does she wear? Because I'm
she
thinking
wears
no armor, right?
no armor.
Right.
She wears pants, not fitted pants, kind of like loose. I'm sorry, I've got a cold.
Pantaloons.
Pantaloons. What do they call that? Tabard. Because front and
That's
back
the one
from
that
those
goes.
sides.
Yeah, that's the one that like goes over chainmail or something.
That's
right.
belted.
Okay.
She will wear a light cloak that
Okay.
has a hood that she can pull up, and gloves, traveling gloves that she's got tucked into her
Okay.
waist belt cinchy thing.
Sensible clothing.
Sensible clothing. She's prepared for travel because she has a feeling that this is not going to end here. From as far as appearance, she wears her hair closely cropped, not super long because that's just not sensible.
Right.
Sharp eyes. To see her, she quickly appraises the room. She looks at everyone in the room and kind of gauges where they are. Cautious
Okay.
and sensible.
So now everyone has seen each other, and I presume, in the background a couple of introductions have gone on, but let's treat it as everyone's going to introduce themselves to Tana, Veritana, as she arrives.
Veritana.
And she will probably introduce herself as well. So let's do that, and I'd also like to cover the traits you picked, because you're going to find that you have a common interest for being here, being the notes, and go into that.
Ah, the princess. How you doing there, honey?
Honey?
Now, in the dream, she was a princess.
We all had the same dream.
We're about to find that out. I just want to make sure that was out there.
And who are you?
Do we recognize them as looking like the people from our dream?
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you guys say
Yeah, that's what I
your
thought.
appearance is drastically different, then no. It should be the same person, and you would recognize them.
So yeah, that's how Ashley would, he's like, ooh, hello. How you doing there, honey?
Princess.
Honey, we are not familiar enough for you to refer to me that
What
way.
are you talking
sir.
about? I saw you in my dreams last night.
Like that would
That's quite a pickup line there, my friend. I saw you in my dreams last night. I've tried that one a few times, and all it's gotten me is a mug of ale upside the head.
So,
Crispin.
you look really familiar, but I've never met you before. This is very odd.
I remember calling all of you to an adventure in my dream, but I do not recall making this meeting this morning. Is it the morning or after? Morning, like
So-
early
We'll say it's morning. Sometime late morning.
What are we all doing here? Why are you... I got a note to come here.
As did I.
I also received a note.
Did your note look like this?
Yes, it was very good penmanship.
It's perfect. It's almost like it was a font. Yes.
This is
Yes,
odd.
you all have the
So-
same note.
Any
We
more
have
of
the
those?
same note and the same shared dream.
Definitely not coincidence.
Whatever. All right, anyone want some bread?
Is there any left after you've woofed it?
How do you know I wolfed it?
It's like yesterday or the day before's bread. The wine isn't
Yeah.
fine wine, but it's all fine. Normal food, I should say.
Do you normally eat food and drink that
I'm
you are not
definitely eating.
familiar with?
Yeah.
Aren't you afraid that it could be poisoned or?
Who wants to poison me?
Okay.
We're about to learn. I think.
We'll call you the test subject.
What's the woman's name? Zalara.
Zalara.
Does anyone know this
I
Zalara?
could-
I don't, and I'm a little worried the fact that we've had the same dream and received the same note, and now we're in this room with tapestries of evil forces and
Well, evil
perhaps
and
magic.
good.
Yeah,
So you're both.
that's right. But I don't know what's happening here.
I'd like to examine the room to see if there's anything odd.
I'd like to examine the room
arcane.
to see if there's anything worth stealing.
Okay.
I'm just going to eat the bread and wine.
I do want you, as you guys are doing this, go into the reasons why you're here or why you think you may have been called together, i.e., talk about the traits.
Right.
Let's do that. Some little
So,
expose.
so if we're to believe
Exposition.
this note, then you all have been wronged by Lamb in some way. I mean, I'll volunteer the fact that he recruited me as a child, and after a couple too many mistakes, I got tortured by him and thrown and cast aside.
How long ago was that?
Oh, many years ago. I've been on my own now for about 14 years, but I've been waiting for a chance to strike back at him, and if you peeps are like-minded.
You peeps are like-minded.
You mean those small marshmallowy birds? I love those.
I like that. I'm going to take that one. That might be a good title.
Well, I never knew my parents. Sad, woeful tale. Pity me. But I was raised by nomads in the area who were actually very, very kind to not only me but to a number of children. And one of my best friends was a boy named we called him Talon, and he disappeared, and we're quite certain he was abducted by Graydon. And I've always wanted a chance to get back at him or to find Talon, but I've never had the opportunity. And seeing that in the note gave me reason to at least come and hear what's being proposed.
This Lamb character murdered my lover, Claire. Now, I have many lovers, of course, but she was my favorite. I'm very upset.
She was your favorite.
She was.
So you're like a tomcat. You know, you roam, but you always come back to your favorite spots.
My tale's not as woeful as yours, but this,
Well, it will be a little better to hear when you lift the microphone up, though.
how's that? Is that better?
That is. Thank you, Mickie.
Not as woeful as yours, but this lamb does owe me a debt. He tried to destroy my father by accusing him of something he did not do. In the end, the truth came to light, but he still must pay for the time.
Mickie, you're not well today.
I know, can you tell?
I really like the accusing him.
Shut up.
It was very nice. So as you guys are finishing up your stories, an attractive middle-aged Varisian woman with long dark hair walks through the door and greets you. And she says, "I am Zalara. Thank you for coming. And thank you for putting up with my unconventional method of contacting you. I have reason to remain hidden, you see. A vicious man would see great harm done to me if he knew I was reaching out for help. This man has done something terrible to each of you as well. I speak, of course, of Gadrin Lamb, a man whose cruelty and capacity to destroy the lives of those he touches are matched only by his gift for avoiding reprisal. You see, a year ago, his thieves stole this, my Harrow deck, from me. And she shows you a deck, what looks like a deck of cards. It is important to me, an heirloom passed down through a dozen generations, and also my sole means of support. When Lamb's pickpocket stole it, my son Aaron tracked them down and returned my deck to me, but Gadrin had him followed, and soon after he left my home, Gadrin's thugs murdered him. I sought help from the Corvosan Guard, but they turned me away, and so I asked around. I paid bribes. I consulted my Harrow deck for advice, and recently I was rewarded. I found out where Gadrin dwells. He can be found in an old fishery north of here at West Pier 17, where he trains abducted children to be pickpockets and counts his stolen treasures. But I need your help. I cannot hope to face this man on my own, and the guard moves so slow that if they were willing to help, Gadrin would certainly know of their coming well in advance. And even if they arrested him, what guarantee would I have he would be punished? This criminal had evaded the law for decades. But you know of these frustrations as well. For word on the street has it that Gadrin has wronged each of you too. So there we are. It's time for him to pay.
Yeah, the Corvosan Guard's pretty useless around here, apparently. They can't do anything, right?
They're slow to act.
Yeah.
They have their hands in all kinds of things, trying to keep things stable with the king's health and decline, and they're not ready and quick to act against crime lords like Gadrin.
So, Ashley, do you have any contacts with your old friends?
I'd have
that
to
are still
check.
working
Yeah,
for
I have to check. He prefers children. So once adults are, once reaching adulthood, they kind of cuts contact with them.
Gotcha.
No one expects children to steal, you know.
Oh, I always expect them to
Yeah.
steal.
No one expects the children in the Spanish Inquisition.
I mean, I got no problem punching a 5-year-old.
The fluffy bullets.
That's nice.
That's kind of
It's
harsh.
Well,
It
they're
is.
going to try to steal from me.
Ain't no one above an ass whooping.
My sentiments exactly.
So as you guys start talking, she says she tells you she wants to perform a harrowing for you. It's like a tarot card reading type of thing.
Ooh, me
And
first.
she takes out her deck and starts dealing cards in front.
I thank her for the wine and bread.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten for a couple days.
She's very happy to have provided them for you. And I don't have the actual cards right now, so I'm going to use the rules they have for doing this without a deck. So you guys keep talking while I
Why you
do some
start?
of this. Yeah.
Crispin, where are you from again?
That's an excellent question.
From the nomad
Your
lands outside
tattoos,
of town.
your tattoos are very interesting. Do you know their meaning?
I actually don't. I don't. I never knew my parents, and I've had them as long as I can remember. So
Man, that's got to be worse than punching a 5-year-old. Like
Getting-
tattooing a
as
5-year-old?
a
Like,
young-
good lord.
Exactly.
You
So
were tattooed as a young person?
I was. So I've added a little bit over time, but the core tattoos I've had as long as I can remember, and I don't yet know their meaning.
Can I look at them a little? Will you allow me to examine them a little bit closer?
She just wants to get your pants.
So Ashley was first. So this is happening while you guys are talking. She places the trumpet card in front of Ashley, which is a declaration of power, and says, "Clearly, you will rise to great power in Corvosa."
Man, I knew that. How much did I don't
She
know,
looks
lady?
on to the next person while you guys continue talking about tattoos and stuff.
Sure, you could look at them.
She examines them, looks a little closer. These are very fascinating. I'm going to have to look in through my books to see if I can find their origin. But it looks quite painful. You must be quite strong to have endured such a long process.
Well, what's interesting is I don't remember anything before I was taken by the nomads who raised me, and I should have memories of, at least some of my early years, but I was probably 6 or 7 years old when they found me, and I don't remember anything before that time.
Did you already
As
have
I
the
said, I
tattoos
should.
before this?
I don't remember my parents at all. I don't remember getting the tattoos. I don't
Parents
know.
are overrated.
Who's getting the next card?
I'll do it.
Okay. So she places the joke card down in front of you, the bard.
Spit up my wine.
The joke is traditionally referred to as danger overcome by artifice. So you will find a way to overcome some great danger here in Corvosa using your instruments. Keep going.
I mean,
Very
at most, as a child, I was circumcised. I mean, I can't imagine going through a tattooing process.
Especially over your whole body.
Well, as I said, it's I'm not a stupid person, and I should
Is it
remember.
your whole body?
I should remember these, so I've always suspected that someone has used some sort of sorcery to mess with my memories, and perhaps it was because the pain was so severe that I could not remember. I don't know.
Ooh, I've heard of that. I think it's called trauma.
Who gets the next card?
I will.
Kurt was first. Kurt, she sets down the card, the big sky, before you.
The big sky.
And says, the big sky is traditionally symbolizes freedom from bondage. There must be something holding you back that you are about to break free from.
It is your stature, perhaps.
Perhaps it is your height.
Big sky for the little guy.
Yeah, everyone's looking at Mickie while she's coughing instead of talking. Sorry, Mickie.
The wine's not that bad. Perhaps some water for the lady.
She does seem very proper. Perhaps she's never learned to drink. I could certainly help with that. I mean,
Sure
I'm no
you could.
dwarf, but we still like our wine.
Sure you could.
What else is going on there? All right, so Mickie, the last one. She sets the juggler card down before you and says, this is a very good omen for you because the juggler symbolizes that fate is on your side. Clearly, the gods and the fates are in alignment to help you succeed in this task.
I've found that preparation helps in that as well.
You seem pretty sensible. Your clothing is sensible.
I try to be. Practicality has served me well.
Hold on, are you practical or sensible? Which is it? Both.
Pragmatic?
Practical. Sensical. Sensical. You are sensical.
That's what?
So she would like you guys to go to the old fishery and take care of Gadrin Lamb.
Is there any other help you can provide besides the location?
Only that he is dangerous, as you all know, so be careful, be on your guard.
I got a few. I got
cannot
a few
help
scars I
directly,
like to give him
unfortunately.
before.
Yeah.
What'd you say? I missed it. What?
I got a few scars I like to give him. You know,
Oh.
maybe some of these matching ones.
Yeah, I'd like to put a knife in his back that he did to my lover.
Whoa.
What? Oh.
That escalated
Was
quickly.
that?
It'll leave a scar.
It will. I'm not sure. I mean, scarring typically has a healing process. I'm not sure a knife in the back will allow for that.
Well, I have no
Perhaps
idea.
just the tip.
Yeah. I have no idea where my friend Talon is or if he might be with Gadrin, but I'd still like a chance to find him and hurt the man who hurt me.
Sounds like a plan. The old fishery, as she mentioned, was at West Pier 17, and it is north of where she lives. Now, there is, in that handout, there's a map of Corvosa, but to be honest, it's right in the right in the back of the cover there. But I haven't really looked to see where things were. But if you happen to find
Does she have a number for
JJ,
her
like,
establishment?
West Pier 17, or it would be to the north, and it would be on the water. So it's going to be up there somewhere.
Yeah.
I hadn't looked enough to see.
Pier
Yep.
is near the water.
Shocking. It's got to be. It's crazy. Yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
Now, I don't have a map to hand out to you guys, but I do have one for myself, so suck it.
So, interestingly, the 17th pier is marked 09 on this map.
Probably because it's location 9 in my book.
Oh,
That would
yes.
make sense. That's a
Jeez.
really good point. I'll bet you it is. Huh. Anyway,
Where are we at right now? That's the thing.
although actually it's considered A in the book. Anyway, we're there.
I'll use the...
Is there anything you guys need to do to prepare? Well, you know what? One thing I didn't say earlier. Mark on your character sheet that you have 25 gold to start. That's what we're going to start.
Ooh, piece of candy
That
for
in
me.
your normal equipment. So what I did to create these characters in Hero Lab that I used is I just did the weapons and armor for free, but you still had some starting gold. So we're going to say that you had 25.
Okay.
Everybody each would have 25. So if there was anything you wanted to buy or have before we get started, please let me know so we can do that before you actually go to the old fishery. Because if it weren't obvious enough, you're about to have your first encounter.
So for me, when we made Crispin in Dungeon World, he had the I can't remember what it's called, but it was unencumbered trait where by not wearing armor he got a bonus.
Yeah, I think that's a built-in thing with barbarians in 5th edition. If you wear armor, you lose, so you have a built-in bonus. As
Okay, so even though like in the 5e I have a proficiency with light or medium armor, am I okay not wearing armor?
Yeah, because if you don't wear armor, you add your Constitution modifier to your AC.
Okay, so wearing my just leather vest open and
Yep.
my pants is appropriate.
well, that's stylish. It doesn't provide any protection, right?
Yeah, because
He doesn't get style protection.
Constitution. Sorry.
Depends on who approaches him, I guess.
Dex
Plus 2
add
'cause of
into
style.
your
Yeah,
with no
Flare.
armor.
Gotcha.
Do I
he
need,
has flair. That's it.
do you
add
need
flair.
to know which spells I've prepared?
No, you do.
Okay.
I
don't
actually
cheat.
I don't. Yeah. As far as the cantrips go, just you cast them when you want, right? And then and that to me was one of the beautiful things about the spell casting in 5th edition cantrips. That means as a wizard, you never actually have to use the quarterstaff. You can actually use your spells all the time, every time.
That
That's
is
awesome.
a beautiful thing.
A wizard can actually cast spells when they want because that's their
And we increased their
Hey.
hit points to D6 instead of D4.
Yeah, you live a little longer too. Actually, for that matter, everyone should know where your hit points are on your sheet because we're about to,
Use 'em?
might be using those. Let's put it that way. Anything else that you want to have done with your character before we go?
Ashley will have had a set of manacles. They're multi-purpose.
I'm sure they are.
Sure they are. Okay.
Where
Anything else? Anybody else?
can somebody help me locate my hit point? Oh, there it is. Found it. Never mind.
The spot that says hit point?
The spot that says hit points.
Rock on, brother. And I'm thinking of things like, for example, we're not in Dungeon World, so if you're thinking of things like adventuring gear, you need those things. So at least write them down. We'll do, at least to start, we'll keep some track of
So-
inventory.
I guess what I'd recommend is look into Player's Handbook and look at in equipment. It says either A, a Scholar's Pack, or B, an Explorer's Pack. And then just look that up in the items whenever you get the chance. Like that's for wizards and rogues and so they
Yeah.
all have different packs.
Because you would have starting gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone would have starting gear. I just didn't put it down on that sheet I created. I just did it so we'd have numbers to get started, because that's really what matters the most. But what I'm thinking here is if we get inside of a building and someone says, I want a torch, someone's going to have one,
Yeah.
but it'd be nice to have that on your sheet. Let's do that. A torch, a candle, a rope, or whatever.
Right, so I have an explorer's pack.
Okay.
All right, we'll figure out exactly what's in there.
Is that what?
Barbarian, 4 javelins and an explorer's pack, it says.
There you go. So
In addition to anything else
So you're
granted
quite
by my-
bristly.
Mickie, your mic
You're a
is
little
off.
porcupine.
There she is.
I'm back. Hi, everyone. Sexy Flem.
I got to figure out what a rogue has too.
I think
Do you
I'm gonna
have
go
the
with
extra player's handbook,
scholars.
Kurt?
So I'll give you a little bit of the old fishery as you approach. So anybody whose character might be native to the area may have been familiar with this building. It is a creaking, decrepit building, but it remains solid. Looks like it'll be a few years before it falls apart. But it is next to an abandoned warehouse up on West Pier 17. The building itself is all wood. It's right on the water. The front of it's on the land, the back of it's over the water. And you can see that there looks like a boat lashed to the back of the building in the back, and the boat's probably been there forever, so it's most likely not seaworthy. As you approach the building, the front doors, there's a reek of brine and the stink of weak dead fish hanging thickly in the air here. The old double doors in the side of the weathered building are tightly closed with a drooping signpost hanging above. The sign it once displayed is long gone, leaving behind only a single short length of rusted chain. So you are at the front, the double doors of the building. And along the left-hand side is a loading dock. And you can see that right from the road. So I'll tell you that is a 15-foot wide loading dock abutting the side of the building. A few carts sit nearby, partially loaded with large tar-caked barrels marked with a fish-shaped splotch. Fish-shaped splotch is fun to say. Of red paint on the side. So a fish-shaped splotch of red paint. Double doors to the immediate south of the loading dock's ramp provide access to the building's interior, while a rickety flight of stairs descends 10 feet to a point just 3 feet over the river surface. So what we're talking about here is it's like a dock on the side of the building with stairs that go down to the river surface. And you can see a single door down there. So you have double doors at the front of the building, like the main entrance type of thing, and then there's a double doors where the dock is, a 15-foot wide dock, and a single door down at the river level.
Nobody's working right now?
You can hear noises, but the place appears to be locked.
And so this is off adventure a little, but we're level 1 adventure,
Yep.
so we should be a little nervous going in here. We're not
You
superheroes.
probably should be.
Nervous?
Yeah,
Crispin be nervous?
Well, that's what I'm
think
trying to think
not.
about how to play him,
Yeah.
because on the one hand he's cocky and crazy and a barbarian,
Yeah.
on the other hand, like he's level 1.
Yeah. I mean,
He doesn't know he's level 1.
it's one of those where you're probably painfully aware, looking at your character sheet, that any one hit might put your character down. However, one of your hits also puts the bad guys down. So it's the same idea that you probably get into the bar fight and it's, 2 hits, me hitting you, you hitting the floor kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. Can I take a moment to take
Sorry,
in the
Mickie.
surroundings and look around to see if
Yeah.
there's anyone either watching us as we approach this building?
Yes, let's do a perception check.
All right.
And we all
Rolling
have
a
those
D.
numbers there. Yeah.
Ooh, I see an 18 on my die.
That's probably a good thing, because
And my
perception is
perception
intelligence.
is +2. So a 20.
No, perception is wisdom. Yes, because investigation is intelligence. Okay. From what you can tell, nobody has watched your approach. And the building everything is grime and slime covered. So you can't see in any windows, and nobody is seeing out to see you either.
They can't see me. I can't see them.
Yeah.
Can't see me.
So at this point, as far as you can tell, you guys have approached the building with nobody really paying any attention to you and nobody aware of your presence.
Excellent.
And you're very confident of that.
I would share that with the group.
And there's the front entrance.
Yeah.
Did we? When she looked around, did she see any other entrances or windows?
You know what,
that
let
we could
me-
go through?
This is stupid because it's east is north on this paper. This side of the paper doesn't have anything secret, so please don't flip it over, but this is just going to make it easier on you guys. So you have seen A1 and A2 from the main road, and that is the double doors on the front, the double doors on the side, and the single door down the stairs. Now, the building is that size. You could probably guess the size of the rooms inside, and that piece of paper doesn't give anything away to you. But which doors would you go into? Or how do you want to enter it? Let's put it that way.
How about
Yes.
that single door at the back?
Yeah, do you guys want to go around back? And
So the double, let me recap a little here. The double doors on the front are locked. And on the left side by the map, on the loading dock, that's where A2 is. The double doors are just ajar. They're slightly ajar.
So,
So you could probably peek inside if you want.
I mean, I could always try to pick the lock as well.
The front door, yeah.
yeah, because no one will think it's suspicious that a group of people are standing
I mean,
out in front of a door and picking it.
Yeah, if a door's already open, let's
Let's go around
take a
back.
peek in there.
So when you look inside that room, from where the door is open, excuse me, as you get your face closer, the stink of the room, which is a mixture of fish and sweat, is enough to make your eyes water. To the east, so if you look on that map, it's up. But to the east, a large wooden trough holds a hideous mound of half-rancid fish, seaweed, and brine. Filthy river water and fish blood stain the floor around this trough, and a pair of wooden chutes leads from the trough through holes in the eastern wall to a larger room beyond. To the west, a desk and chair sit in one corner, and there are 4 children here toiling away with pitchforks, grabbing the chum and throwing it into a chute.
Looks like you might get to punch a child in the face after all.
Children. This
So that's what you see going on in there.
The children working.
Yeah.
Since we haven't seen any adults yet, I'd be inclined to kind of keep creeping around the building to see if there's any other access points or see if there's any guards that we should be aware of before we just go inside.
Is this normal for Gedrin Lambs? Kind of.
Oh yeah, he only uses
So
children
it's just
because
him and
children
then
can't
all
fight
rest
back.
kids.
Children can't fight back, man.
Well, he usually has a couple thugs that work for him as well.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering. If it
Yeah.
really is just him and a bunch of
It's a
kids.
bunch of thugs, too. So you're around the building?
Yeah, I think we want to kind of.
Are those
would want to move
upstairs or
back towards-
downstairs?
Yeah.
Well, you guys haven't gone inside yet.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
A2.
So that single door at the bottom of the stairs for A2, which is the dock, that single door is locked.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna work on that.
You
Do we
want to-
see anybody on the ship
So we're
from
back
there?
near the ship now, kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
we said the ship was so dilapidated it doesn't look like it's been used in quite some time.
Well, it doesn't look like it's seaworthy. Whether it's
okay.
it's not used as a ship. It looks like it's part of the building now.
Okay.
It's been
There.
attached to it.
What do you think? Sleeping quarters on the ship? Should we be careful that we won't get boxed in?
That's where I'd hang out.
Hang out
I'll
on
watch the
boat.
ship if you want to work that door.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go on there by myself yet, but I'll keep an eye out here
Okay.
while you work that door. But I agree with the lady that we probably need to check that ship out as well.
Well, we could walk around the back.
So here's one, JJ, where you might have the rules better on hand, but you do have thieves' tools and you should have proficiency in them.
Yep.
So I don't know what that number is actually for you. I think your proficiency
I use
is plus
sleight
4.
of hand, I believe, to pick locks.
So my understanding with the tools was you use the skill modifier or the ability modifier plus the tool modifier. So I thought it was dexterity plus whatever proficiency you have in the tool. But I don't know that for sure.
So proficiency
We
with
can
the
find
tools allows you to add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make to disarm traps or locks. However, the ability check required is sleight of hand. So I basically having proficiency in the tools allows me to add 2 to my sleight of hand check.
Let's do that then. And I have your DC because they tell me right here how difficult that
I rolled a
door lock
1.
is.
Oh, that's a level 1 roll right there.
So
Chris, I think you're muted.
Broke
Oh, yeah, he
thieves
says.
too.
He is muted.
I was muted because of stuff in my face.
So yeah, as you try and pick the door with your big toe, it
Yeah.
apparently doesn't.
no,
work.
it was just my toenail. Like my thieves' tool are my toenails.
I chew my toenail off and stick it in the lock, and I chew in different patterns based on what I think the lock.
Need to get some
tumblers
fresher
look like.
toenails there, buddy.
But anyway,
Gross.
no, you're not able to open that lock.
Perhaps we should go around to the back and check out the vessel.
Yeah, you
So you want to go around to the front side of the building
Yes.
and then come
I'm a fan of the rear entrance. You know what I mean?
so you want to go what is on the map down that A3? Is that what you're talking about?
Going down the A-hole. Yep.
Now, are we being sneaky coming around those places, or are we just kind of traipsing along?
So the way I've worded it already is there are windows, but you can't see in, they can't see out.
Okay.
And there's plenty of noise here
Okay.
that you don't necessarily need to make an effort to be sneaky.
The noises of the industry.
Yeah. The only thing that you would be spotted by is someone outside, and there's really nobody walking around outside.
Fair enough.
Can I press the
All right, yeah, so
digitate
let's
one of the
try to
windows and look in?
go down A3 then.
A3
Can
it
you
is.
say that one more time,
Press
Mickie?
the digitate one of the windows to look
So, like,
in.
clean it?
Yeah, just to look in.
Do you want to do that before we go to that A3 or not?
So we're right here right now, and we're going to come back up around and come to
You
this
have
way.
seen inside A7. That's the only room you have seen in.
I would like to see it since we didn't have an opportunity to unlock. I would ask the party this. So, thank you, Ashley, for your attempt.
It's a tricky lock. You want to try?
I'm certain it is. No,
Okay.
I understand.
Everything
your
is covered in
expertise.
fish slime and stuff, too, so maybe that made it more difficult.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not touching anything. My
It was
clothes
pretty
are
icky.
fine.
So, do you want me to try to clean a little bit of this window so that we could look inside?
Let's just go to the boat and see what's going on.
All right. They want to just go to the boat.
All right. So A3 is a slippery boardwalk clinging to the side of the fishery, held together by barnacle-encrusted pilings that have had half of their thickness worn away below the waterline, 12 feet below. The boardwalk is about 13 feet above the water, but slopes downward as it approaches the ship to the east, which again is up on the map, where it stands about 10 feet above the water. The dock is very slippery, and you can tell if you moved quickly at all, you would probably fall.
Ew. Fish guts.
And as long as you keep evenly spaced, you're pretty sure that let's say evenly spaced, far spaced apart from each other, you're pretty sure the boards will hold under your weight. And that leads you back towards the ship. And at the ship, you see, let me get to the right page here. As a pre-published adventure, I have to find the right spot. All right, so you get to the ship, and it looks like the deck of the ship is rotten and barely intact. The hull is worn and thick with seaweed and barnacles, and it looks like it's held together primarily by the layers of old rope that lash it to the pilings that support the fishery and the nearby boardwalk. The rickety walkway leads along the ship's starboard a foot below its railing, and a single wooden door leading into the aft cabin bears a crude painting of a red fish on its surface. So that would be, if you are there at the boat and you can see up to the top, that's that one door in between what is A9 and A10 on the map. That's that single door.
The door locked.
You'd have to go up to it.
Let's do it.
So you guys are going to go on to the...
Now, is there like a gangplank, or do we got to kind of jump from the... Or is the pier, like...
It's the walkway itself is only a foot below the railing.
Okay, then,
Right?
yeah.
So the only one who might have a problem with it is Crispin.
Yeah.
Because that's, that's a jump for a 3-foot-tall guy. Well, how tall is Crispin? Did we establish that? Just out of curiosity, I think a halfling in D&D is 3.5 feet-ish.
Yeah, I'd be on the bigger side of halfling, so maybe we could go 4 feet.
You'd be a 3-quarterling.
Oh, wow.
Woo. But yeah, but that would be an interesting thing to know. Only because when we talk about something like this, where this is 1 foot below the railing,
Right.
if that's up to your waist, that's something, right?
4 foot nothing.
For others, it might not even be up to their knees, and for you, it might be up to your waist.
Right.
However, it is easy enough to step over, and you would be stepping over that onto that's A9.
Yep.
That's the spot that I was just talking about. And you want to check that door, you said. Let me just make sure here. All right, so when you get onto...
Average about 3 feet tall.
Yeah, between
About-
2 and 4 feet tall for small races, averaging 3.
So you
So I'm
want to
gonna
be
go towards
4?
4. Yeah, I want to be
How
4.
about 311?
Sounds fine. And I'll always insist that I'm 4 feet tall.
Exactly. You wear lifts.
Greg would be like, no, I'm 311 the whole way.
311.
4 feet, damn you!
He has it marked like on his arm where 311 is, so he can just stand next to you, and this is all you are, man. You could spike your hair or something. Excuse me. All right, so you get onto A9, which is the deck, and you want to go into that door. Is that what you said? Yes?
I guess we're checking to
that
see
door?
if it's locked.
It is not locked. At least insofar as there is nothing about the door being locked.
Perhaps we should listen.
Yeah? You want to listen at the door?
Yeah,
That sounds
sure.
perceptive. Let's see if you can percept anything.
Probably not a 7, because, it's loud out here with the waves.
Yeah, I would say. You don't hear anything on the other side, except for, muffled sounds of waves. Light waves, because it's a river, so it's more
Try
like
the knob.
current waves. The door opens.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Definitely something fishy going on here.
Hey, I see what you did there.
I get it, the whole place.
Give me a gold piece.
The air in this room is thick and musty. Thick sheets of cobwebs hang from the walls, and mounds of blankets, cushions, and straw clutter the floor. To the south, a narrow flight of stairs leads down into the ship's hold.
Ooh.
Da-da.
Stuff's always downstairs.
Yeah. One-eyed Willie's treasure. Let's go get it.
Okay, who's going in first?
Do you guys
I want to
really
search
think-
the room first.
Who's
the
going
A10.
in first?
I am.
Okay, so when you go in, we roll initiative. You can speak up just as we're about to roll, Mickie. It's
Said,
okay.
is it really a good idea to walk in there without scoping it out first? And he goes, "No, I'm walking in."
I'm there, man.
How are we supposed to scope it out? There's no sight in.
Uh-huh.
No windows.
Oh, great roll, Kurt.
Hey, matching roll 4.
I rolled like
yeah.
crap.
All right. So do we have a marker
I'm 4
for the
plus
table
1,
here?
5.
Do we have a marker for the table here? Write down
No,
initiatives.
I didn't
Here.
put one out there,
I
but
got
Mickie
it.
has them down on her right-hand side there. We can use that. That
Oh,
works.
sweet. Excuse me.
13.
8.
8, he says.
Kurt, 5.
5. 4 plus 1.
11.
Mine is hold just a moment here. Dang it. Initiative is okay, 20.
Ooh.
Yeah. You go into something's lair, what's going to happen, right? I mean, come
Right?
on.
Oh, we're going to be sleeping? That's what's going to happen. It's
could
early.
be.
It's still morning. This guy sleeps in. He's a partier.
Of course, it also helps that I roll an 18. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely works out.
what are you going to do?
These dice are not working out for me. Oh, yeah, it's so horrible.
As you step in, actually, am I first in initiative?
Yes.
You are.
All right. As you step in, a brown spider whose body is the size of a fist leaps forward and has long, spindly legs and oversized fangs, and it attacks you.
The size of a fist?
Yeah, fist-sized body. So with the legs, what would that be? I don't know, a foot or so?
Yeah.
It's like one of those cannibal
So it's not a
spiders.
giant spider.
It's about the size of a
No.
cat.
It's like a cannibal spider.
Technically, for the purposes of this adventure, it is a drain spider.
Drain spider.
Yes,
That's disgusting.
Drains the life.
Keep it away from me.
it does. It does. So it is going to attack you with a bite 17.
That will hit.
A 17 will hit.
That's going to
and,
leave a mark.
It's going to hit anything and everything.
All right. Well, actually, this is a tricky one because it doesn't do damage. It does poison. So you have to do a Constitution save.
What is your constitution?
That's
like?
another 4 on my thing, so I got a 5.
Oh, good gosh, that's not going to do it because the DC is 10.
I think your dice needs to go on.
Yeah,
timeout.
you might,
The rule of law. The rule of law. It'll be better when it matters.
The rule of random law. All right, so here's what's going to happen. Once per round for the next 4 rounds, you will lose 1 strength.
Okay.
The cure is a save against it on your turn.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. And you'll be able to save at the end of your next turn, right? So at the beginning of the turn, you lose 1 strength.
Okay.
All right. So the spider leapt forward and attacked you. Now proceed in initiative.
It is Tana's turn.
Oh, gosh. Acid splash at that spider.
Sounds like a plan.
Don't miss.
What does that
This
look like?
boat's not doing too good already.
I
That's a
know,
good
right?
point. What-
So this is a
what's that look
cantrip, range 60 feet.
We'll be in the drink before
I
you know it.
hurl a bubble of acid. I choose one creature within range. Range is 60 feet, as I said.
No problem.
Or 2 creatures within range that are within 5 feet of each other.
You could choose Ashley as well.
I could, but I won't. The target must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage. And
Well, let's try that.
So you throw an
DC
acid bubble?
yeah, acid bubble. My
Which I
DC
wanna-
is
Blink,
8
blink,
plus
blink.
my proficiency bonus plus my intelligence
my.
So
modifier.
13.
Where's the proficiency bonus on this thing?
Proficiency bonus is always
It's already on
the
your
character sheet.
Yeah.
Right here, proficiency bonus.
Oh,
So it's
it's 2.
always going to be 2 until we get to 3rd level, and then it's going to be 3.
So 2 plus my intelligence modifier, which is this guy.
Yep.
So that's 5 plus 8, 13.
Nope. Yeah. 5 plus 8.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. Yeah.
5 plus 8 is 13.
Okay, I have an 11.
You fail.
Failed. Okay. So there's a fail.
So it gets
Why don't I just put
1d6
my-
damage. Do you want me to roll
Here
it, or
it
do
is.
you want to roll it?
That's all you, man. You do the
We're all
damage.
gonna
I'll let
be
you roll it. That way, when
swimming in
it's
the
low,
lake.
it's not my fault.
3.
3. Okay, so you got 3 damage to the spider. And it hisses and pulls away from Ashley, but looks like it could probably still attack somebody.
Saved your life.
Greg.
Greg!
I will try to stab it with my rapier.
Rapier, charge in and attack it.
You gotta rape the spider. What?
I mentioned it earlier. I hope everybody was paying attention.
It's a trait now.
22.
Oh, 22
Oh,
will
no,
hit.
23.
Go ahead and give me that damage.
Oh, yes. Damage is 8.
8.
Stabby stab.
Yeah, it's the icky greenish ichor from inside the spider, which is still ichor because it's icky. It comes out on your blade and the spider expires.
Is there anything that I can wipe it off in here?
Well, Ashley's there.
All right.
Technically, that room, like I was describing, it is. There's thick sheets of cobwebs from the walls and mounds of blankets, cushions, and straw cluttering
Mounds
the
of
floor.
blankets.
So yeah,
Do we
Plenty
need
of
XP for that, or you want?
there is
Clean that
100. We're going to take it as is out of the book. So I'm going to start it as that's 100 experience.
Total.
Yes, it is. That monster was 100 experience, and
Okay.
you
I
killed
rolled
it.
a 19 for the save.
Yes. So you will be down 1.
Strength.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to read this a little different because the description says cure is 1 save. So
Okay.
you will be cured once you have saved.
Okay.
And that's
it's a little relatively
Right.
little
It's a
spike.
Pathfinder thing. So, yeah,
Are you going to be a little more careful when you walk into rooms going forward?
probably not.
I mean, how many rooms have spiders?
Okay. She turns to the party and goes, next time, let's stop for some healing potions.
That could work next time. But so far, no damage has been done. That's pretty good.
Yes.
I would like to
It
search
threw-
the room.
It threw me off when I looked at the monster because its damage is 1d3 minus 3. Poison. So you get poisoned. It doesn't actually hurt.
Oh.
You will just eventually die
Just
of
a
negative
flesh wound.
strength, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you don't actually die, but the whole point of the monster is to weaken you.
Yeah.
So that it can eventually
'Cause you
eat
feel
you,
drained.
I suppose. Yeah. Drain spider.
Yeah.
Did someone say loot the body? Or
I want to search the room.
Loot the
search
body.
the room. Nothing else in the room
Except for the blankets.
except that the mounds of blankets, cushions, and straw cluttering, and there is that narrow flight of stairs that lead down to the what should be the ship's hold because that's what stairs going down in the ship do.
All right, guys. Quietly.
Before we do that,
Ladies
should we
first.
send some light down there?
It might be
No,
dark
I don't
down
want to
there.
warn anything if we're going to come down.
Is it dark down there?
I would say, yeah, it has to be. It doesn't specifically say it here, but it's a stairway that leads down into a ship's hold.
I
And
definitely got some candles burning.
yeah, it's going to be dark. All right, the stairway down is dark. How about that?
Okay.
We'll just make it clear.
I got some candles.
I also have a
I've got torches. We've got a wizard who probably knows light.
I have a hooded lantern.
And light is a cantrip.
It
I also
is.
have
Another
light
nice
as a
thing.
cantrip as well.
Ah, very
But, you know.
So
not
but you're a
wasting
would
bard.
you mind casting your light thingy on my candle inside my hooded lantern?
You want me to cast light thingy inside the candle, onto the candle inside your hooded lantern?
That way I can close
what
the
he said.
thing and we can end the light.
That's a euphemism if I
Strobe.
ever heard
I was
one.
going to say, this is
Strobes.
there's a lot of double entendres here.
Strobes.
Sure. I will light your thingy.
Touch my candle. Touch it.
You want me to touch your candle?
So
Touch it.
I don't know you well enough to touch your candle.
We're going down. We're going down to a 11, which you guys don't flip the paper over because it's important that you don't flip it over.
Okay.
All right, but you're going down below on the
Okay.
ship.
Oh.
Dark and dank, the ship's hold smells of mildew. Several barrels, crates, and other containers lie stacked here and there. Dust and grime cover the floor, except where river water has collected in puddles.
Oh, gross.
Yeah,
Don't step in that.
it's
So-
yucky.
I will cast the light about since in a hooded lantern.
So who's
it's-
going in first?
I will.
Let's roll initiative.
Oh, wonderful.
And that is where we will pick up our next episode. Oh, hey, Mickie, look what I just rolled.
Oh,
I got a
wonderful.
20 that time. So
get
we're
to go
going to
first
pick up
again.
initiative with another group of combatants. And this time you see several spiders jump out from the shadows.
Oh, damn
At
it.
the first person who enters the room.
Awesome.
In the meantime, we will wrap up this first episode of our Curse of the Crimson Throne 5th edition campaign. And we can all say...
Leave the ditch.
Ciao.
Merci for listening.
Bye, everyone.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by 1-You. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.